Have and have not fans, we just finished one hell of an episode. Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess you can call this like a live reaction. Again, this isn't me doing theories or anything. It's just me. Again, I just finished the episode. I've been tweeting all night with you all. I had a blast, and I gotta say, this episode was a trip. I'm still trying to catch my breath. I'm sorry if I sound a little winded. I'm still trying to catch my breath because the tension in that funeral home. Oh Lord Jesus. I mean, of course we had the Candace Hannah stare down, but then when Candace when she flipped open that casket, out, Lord, the way she was gasping for breath, I was doing the same because again, it's just one of those things I did not see coming. Oh jeez. Man, that had me going. It's like, feel like I need to check my blood pressure. That was a trip. Okay, so let's kind of backtrack. Let's talk about the episode as a whole. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. It had its slow moments, of course. Where you have two characters talking for a long period of time, but at the same time, I feel like the second half of the episode was just really tension based, while the first half was more of a follow up from last week. I did like the dynamic between Jim and Catherine in terms of the fact that Catherine was trying to play 20 questions with Jim, and he couldn't even phone a friend to find out what the birthdays and anniversary dates are. And I did see one interesting tweet where somebody said, I wonder if Jim had a wire in his shoe. And I said, well, I mean, the fact that he had it right behind the head of the bed and then that was the first thing he picked up, I mean, I don't know. It looked like he was kind of looking inside of it for something, or beats me. I mean, did he have a wire? I mean, that might sound a bit ridiculous, but you look at how these characters have hidden cameras everywhere. Let's just put it that way. I mean, to me, I think it was an interesting, and again, this is just my take on it, the fact that that shoe was like the first thing he grabbed right above the head of the bed. I think it would have been interesting if that was like a plot item talking about how Jim was attempting to seduce Catherine and walk all over her like he'd done in the past, but it didn't work. So, to me, if it wasn't like a whole, he had a wire in his shoe or something, I think it would have been interesting if that were the concept of Tyler Perry showing that, well, Jim's old tricks aren't working anymore. You can't just walk all over people like he used to. Catherine Cry, I don't know what it is, but I think this show has taught me that I love women that can just take control. Like the fact that she was not falling for his bull crap was just refreshing to see. And I did like the tender moment between the two in terms of, you never told me sorry. You never listened to me. If you listened to me, I was right about a lot of things. Let's put it this way. Catherine and Jim are in the wrong at times, mainly Jim, because if Jim actually listened to Catherine and valued her opinions instead of doing stuff on his own, then most of the time, their children would be better off and their family would be as well. And on Catherine's side, as Jim put it, you know what? You leave a big mess in terms of like the whole Jennifer Salison situation that still needs to be cleaned up, and she's acting like she doesn't care. And as Jim said, those two, if they work together, they can overcome a lot of things. I truly believe that. The same with Veronica and David. If they work together, there's nothing they can't do based off their resources, their smarts, and I can go on and on and on. But I did like the dynamic, and I love the fact where Catherine went, full beast mode in terms of, you're here by the time I get back, I'm blowing your brains out. Let's just put it that way. And then also talk about the fact that, Jim called up David and pretty much told him, hey, you're going to do exactly what I did with my wife in order to get us together in a meeting to settle this Jennifer Salison situation. So that was pretty interesting how David was like, I'm not going to have sex. So the fact that Jim was like, I want to take a shower. I took one for the team. And I was just tweeted something along the lines of, bet money that Catherine didn't even leave a damn towel for Jim in the bathroom. Remember how she cleaned out the house? He didn't even have a pot to piss in. Now he probably trying to scrape around, take a shower before he leaves. Kind of jumping over to Erica and David. I think we got a glance of it in the preview for the next episode, and you see that little that mark on Erica's face for where Candace slapped her. So I wonder, is every character in the show at some point or another going to have a bruise that they're going to be wearing for several episodes, like Jim after David kicked his ass, or Wyatt after he got beat by Jim, and then you look at Jeffrey when he got beat by Quincy, and the list goes on and on and on. But I'm just thinking about the different characters in terms of, you look at Jim and David who don't want to be with their wives, Justin who can't be with the man he claimed he loves, Charles can't be with the woman he's interested in. And again, you could just go on and on about this ridiculous cycle about these broken relationships and affairs. And hey, that's the game of life, I guess. Erica, let's put it this way. Erica was David was trying to put on his charm in terms of, you know what, I'm not very comfortable sleeping alone. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if Erica gets from you what she really wants, it's not going to be too comfortable when you're sleeping in a cardboard box. That's all I'm saying. I mean, let's just take a moment. I know I'm kind of jumped around here, but I'm trying my best to not talk about the ending of the episode because I was so tense. So I feel a little more upbeat at the 5-minute mark of this video than I did at the first minute when I was still gasping for air there. Let's just talk about I'm going to do more breakdown, trust and believe, with the season finale, or should I say mid-season finale, that's occurring next week. I will have more videos on the way, but for now, I just want to talk about the episode as a whole. I don't know about you, but I thought it was very refreshing to see the Wyatt and Anna scene for a few reasons. Number one, to just, as Jeffrey was saying, to just hear Wyatt talking so clearly. You know, honestly, I can't remember the last time we saw him that clean, aside from maybe season 1, where, you know, of course, Jeffrey was his rehab facilitator, and he would occasionally come to the Crier house and whatnot. It was just great to, you know, hear him talking, you know, clearly. He was smiling, and Anna was just looking good. I mean, that was a good shot. Just a couple things. The fact that we got when was the last time we got like an outdoor shot, you know, like a scene outside in the haves and the have-nots, when it's not dark, it's not like a shady atmosphere, it's like a legit sunshine and happiness. I love that scene. Honestly, I love that scene. And just Wyatt, you know, giving him advice like stay away from that cop, he's crazy. And then, you know, I am glad to see that Mama Rose, of course, you know, due to Candace helping out with the whole Warlock situation, didn't do the shootout around Savannah, Georgia, because I was always seeing my videos like Anna and Wyatt better stay in that apartment. They better not walk around. They're going to get shot. So it was good to see them walking around having fun there. And then the next episode looked like they're making out. So Wyatt, you're a lucky man because she's fine. But I digress. Then Jeffrey's like, I even tweeted that I'm glad he's trying to help other people, like, you know, help out Wyatt with, you know, getting, you know, a facilitator for his substance abuse, trying to help Melissa for suicidal issues, and now trying to get Justin the help that he needs. But I'm thinking to myself, it's cool to see you playing doctor and whatnot, but you need to carry yourself to a doctor to get help with your anger issues. That's what makes Jeffrey so dangerous. He's like Bruce Banner, so to speak, turned into the Hulk at a, you know, I wouldn't say at the drop of a dime, but when he's backed into a corner and you piss him off enough, he's going to flip. Now, I was kind of chuckling to myself, like, it wouldn't surprise me if Veronica had a freaking camera in Jeffrey's hotel room, and that's how she knew about Justin. But honestly, at this point, you can just tell by the tone in Jeffrey's voice if he's lying or not. So that's safe to say that, you know, Veronica knows what she's doing. And what was more chilling, no pun intended, well, actually pun intended, when it comes to the Ice Queen, Veronica wasn't even visibly in the episode, but just hearing her over the phone, like, drop the temperature in that room like by 40 degrees. I mean, the Ice Queen is in full effect, and she's probably, you know, miles away. That's just saying something right there. And I don't know about you, but I'm very curious about what David has in mind for Veronica, as well as what Justin has in mind for Veronica. Because the fact that David's so confident, as Veronica said in the last episode at the house burning, that, oh, you seem very confident. Well, I hope you're ready for divorce court. And he says, I am. And I'm just like, okay, David, I like this, you know, tone of voice, this confidence. But what do you have? And again, this isn't me underestimating David, but from what we've seen of Veronica so far, not to mention all the tricks she has yet to pull out of her bag, I wonder what he has in store for her. I mean, based on that preview for next week, and I will be doing a preview breakdown, it seems like somebody's going to get in a car wreck, and I don't know. We shall see. Again, I need to wait probably over the next 24 to 48 hours to kind of analyze the preview before I do a video, but I'm going to be breaking it down. I'm on a case. I'm on a case. All right. Now, so far, just kind of, you know, backtracking here. Now, we talked about Jim and Catherine. We talked about Erica and David. We talked about Jim and David talking. And Oh yeah, Charles. I did like the speech there, and seeing the inside of a again, it's just the little scenes that make the big difference to me. I just love when we see new sets and environments, so to speak. Like for example, we saw the inside of his campaign truck, and him and Landon on good terms, so to speak. Now, and I even tweeted that, okay, Charles, I'm glad we're seeing Charles, but I hope we don't see Chucky come out when they go to the back of the bus. So Landon's still skeptical, but hey, he's like, I'm sorry that I trust your judgment and you're going to win. But I mean, for good reason, he has his doubts due to Candace. And I even tweeted like, that assistant that was beside Landon with the red hair is like, I'm a sucker for gingers. I tell you what. I mean, Tyler Perry, if you're listening, can you give me your name and number? I'm crazy. Not Veronica crazy, but I'm crazy. But it's good to just see, again, different settings, and the fact that Charles was willing to check up on Candace. So again, just like Veronica, it's like she was over the phone, but you can just kind of feel the weight of her voice. I really do like that about characters who are able to pull that off. And let's see. Wow, I guess jumping around, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think we might be at the point where I have no choice but to talk about the funeral home scene. That was like the last 10 to 15 minutes of the episode. And as I said at the beginning of the video, it was very intense. It was what I wanted, not to mention we're going to get even more next week. Because again, I did a video like right before the episode aired in regards to, why Candace is flipping out over the family. And it's clearly grief. Like, I can see grief. But there's a difference. There's a thin line between grief and then acting like a spoiled brat. And the spoiled brat is me being nice about it. I gotta say the back and forth was great. The fact that Benny got involved was because Hannah did not have the strength to deal with that right now, because that look of shock she had when Candace walked in, that was just powerful. Like, I remember seeing like a little 59-second clip on the Haves and the Have Not Facebook page of this. I think I was at lunch at work and I just saw that and I'm like, oh my God. The fact that, Hannah's just at a loss for words was just, because basically it was like, Candace was stabbing Hannah with her look, and that was powerful. And again, to see Benny jump in, bravo. I gotta say that two characters who I haven't liked a lot this season, Benny and Wyatt, this episode, and again, just small scenes, I did love it. The fact that Wyatt was, relatively clean, in terms of, being happy, upbeat. Benny taking his mom aside, just, standing up to Candace. Like, what I love about it is the fact that he wasn't telling Candace off to be spiteful or hateful. He was just like, look, I know you're going through something right now. We're all feeling pain too. I'm not going to let you come up in here and act like this. And I love the fact that he was like, look, mama did everything she could, and Warlock came in there looking for you. And it's like she said, it's a full circle. Every time you do something like this, you expect a different result, and it's insanity. And that is the definition of insanity. The only thing different about Candace is the level of, I guess you could say, clientele she deals with, from street level thug to politician, governor's level, judge level, up into the presidential candidate. And the back and forth was just amazing. I loved it. Tinka Sumter, Tyler Lepley, Crystal Fox, you all did amazing. And that poor funeral director, that guy, Lord have mercy, he didn't know if he was going right or left, up or down. They had him going all over the place. I wish Catherine was there, but the scene was perfect with just those three, because I feel like if Catherine were there, she would help put things into place, so to speak. She would have definitely been on Benny's side, speaking up for Hannah. But the scene was perfect the way it was. But I wish, and a part of me wishes Catherine was there. But again, it was great the way it was. And I said at the beginning of the video, when she flipped over that casket, I lost it. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even expect that. I did not expect that. Then, Hannah putting the pieces together in regards to, Charles and Candace. I love that. And based off the preview, it looks like she might be going to gym for the money. I don't know. And I find that ironic that she wouldn't want Catherine to pay for the funeral, but it seems like Candace is going to be going to gym to get the money. We don't know for sure. I'm just kind of basing that off the preview for next week, but I'm not really going to talk too much about that preview because, of course, it deserves its own video. But overall, I think this episode was probably better than the previous two episodes. I think Haunted by a Surname, I believe that was about 3 weeks ago. That's probably one of my top 3 favorite episodes of the season so far. I feel like this episode, it had decent pacing. There were some moments where it felt a bit too slow in my opinion, but overall I felt like it was pretty solid. You know, new scenery. I wouldn't say brand new characters, but you know, we saw like some of Charles's assistants, the funeral director, so little cameos by different characters who didn't take up too much time, but they served their purpose. I did like that. Honestly, if I had to give her, maybe I should start doing a ranking system. I'll probably give this episode maybe 8.5 out of 10. But in terms of dramatic factors, I would have to say this gets like a 12 out of 10 because the ending of the episode was a lot better than I didn't think it was going to be awful when we got to Young's going at the funeral home, because honestly I've been looking more forward to that than like the Malone Warlock shootout, the aftermath of, you know, Melissa. I've just been looking forward to this, and it did not disappoint. I think it was really well done. And again, we have even more coming next week. So with that being said, I gotta say it was a pretty solid episode. Honestly, it was worth the wait. I am sad that next week is going to be the last one until January, but as I said before, I will be doing videos during the hiatus. So honestly, let me know what you think in the comment section below. What did you think of the episode? What were some of your favorite parts? Again, that ending just had me torn up because, again, I could really feel Candace's pain when she opened up that casket. It was just something else. But with that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe because, again, I have more videos on the way, and you do not want to miss out because, again, this episode right here, I tell you what.